Have you ever wondered if a common habit could be silently sabotaging your life? Masturbation is often considered a normal and even healthy part of human behavior, endorsed by modern medicine and observed in other mammals. But what if there's more to the story? In this video, we'll uncover the surprising history of how society's views on masturbation have evolved, from being deemed immoral and disease-causing to being widely accepted today. We'll delve into the science behind what happens in your brain during this act, revealing a hidden trap that could be affecting your well-being more than you realize. But that's not all. We'll also explore the wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, who offer timeless insights into self-control and personal freedom. Their teachings might just hold the key to breaking free from habits that hinder your true potential. If you've ever felt like a slave to your impulses or question how certain behaviors impact your life, this video is for you. Stay with us until the end to discover how understanding both modern science and ancient philosophy can empower you to take control of your mind and lead a more fulfilling life. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your perspective and perhaps even change your life. Let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. Modern medicine unequivocally acknowledges that masturbation is a completely normal and natural behavior, not only among humans, but also vividly observed in dogs and countless other mammals. This enlightened perspective marks a dramatic shift from the oppressive views of the past, where such personal acts were cloaked in shame and moral outrage. Historically, masturbation was condemned as deeply immoral, especially for men who were accused of recklessly squandering their vital life force, an unpardonable sin that was believed to threaten the very fabric of society by impeding reproduction and lineage. For women, the stigma was even more suffocating. The mere thought of a woman finding pleasure on her terms was seen as a rebellious act that could sever her dependency on men, striking fear into the hearts of a patriarchal society desperate to maintain control. The idea of women embracing their sexuality without male assistance was not only scandalous, but also perceived as a direct challenge to the established social order. Adding to this crushing moral weight was a terrifying array of supposed physical consequences. Masturbation was erroneously blamed for causing a host of dreadful diseases and debilitating ailments, from blindness to insanity. These alarming misconceptions cast a dark, ominous shadow over a natural human impulse, instilling deep-seated fear and guilt in anyone who dared to explore their bodies. The act was not merely discouraged. It was painted as a perilous descent into moral decay and physical ruin. Such oppressive beliefs didn't just suppress individual freedom, they inflicted profound psychological wounds. People were haunted by the fear that their private actions could lead to irreversible damage, both spiritually and physically. The overwhelming burden of guilt and the relentless pressure to conform to these harsh societal norms robbed countless individuals of the simple, innate right to understand and embrace their sexuality. This historical backdrop highlights the dramatic evolution of our understanding, emphasizing the critical importance of shedding light on truths that were once obscured by ignorance and fear. But let's pivot back to the present and confront the stark reality of what we genuinely understand about masturbation, especially concerning men who are desperately wrestling with the relentless grip of insomnia. It's a widely accepted notion that masturbation induces sleep, a seemingly harmless solution to those agonizing, sleepless nights. The French Institute of Health and Medical Research unveiled a striking discovery. After orgasm, the male brain effectively deactivates sexual desire. The cerebral cortex, the very core of our conscious thought, reasoning, and awareness, essentially powers down once the climax is achieved. This profound shutdown doesn't just extinguish the desire to continue sexual activity. It ushers in a deep sense of relaxation that paves the way for sleep to envelop the weary mind. Consequently, many men find themselves drifting into slumber following sexual release, believing they've found a soothing balm for their insomnia. But beneath this veneer of tranquility lies a disturbing truth. What is the hidden cost of this seemingly innocent act? What insidious problem lurks in the shadows, waiting to ensnare the unsuspecting? The reality is that nestled within one of its perceived benefits is a treacherous trap, a silent adversary that can wreak havoc on your mental and emotional well-being. If you're a regular visitor to this channel, you might already sense the gravity of what I'm about to unveil. Masturbation triggers a powerful surge of dopamine in the brain, a neurotransmitter often dubbed the pleasure hormone. This rush creates an intense feeling of euphoria, a blissful escape that can become utterly intoxicating. The allure of this sensation can be so overwhelming that it draws you back, again and again, craving that fleeting high. But here's the harrowing catch. With each indulgence, your brain's receptors become a little less sensitive, demanding more stimulation to achieve the same level of satisfaction. This vicious cycle can spiral into a relentless addiction, chaining you to a behavior that increasingly dominates your thoughts and actions. Moreover, relying on masturbation as a sleep aid can mask deeper issues that desperately need attention. It can become a crutch, preventing you from addressing the underlying causes of your insomnia, be it stress, anxiety, or other emotional turmoil. Instead of seeking healthier, more sustainable solutions, you might find yourself trapped in a pattern that's slowly eroding your sense of control and self-worth. The problem isn't just about the potential for addiction. It's about the subtle yet profound impact on your overall quality of life. It's about the way this habit can insidiously infiltrate your daily existence, sapping your energy, diminishing your motivation, and clouding your mind. It's about becoming a prisoner to your desires, losing sight of your goals, aspirations, and the vibrant life you deserve to live. So, what is wrong? The issue is that what seems like a simple, natural remedy is, in fact, a deceptive snare. It's a hidden pitfall that can lead you down a path of dependency, frustration, and deep-seated dissatisfaction. It's a barrier that stands between you and true inner peace, authentic happiness, and the fulfillment of your potential. If you've been feeling unsettled, questioning why a harmless act leaves you feeling empty or conflicted, you're not alone. This is a conversation that delves into the heart of human experience, exploring the complexities of our desires and the profound impact they have on our lives. Stay with me as we unravel this intricate web. Together, we'll shed light on the hidden consequences, empower ourselves with knowledge, and discover pathways to genuine well-being and self-mastery. Remember, awareness is a first step toward liberation, and by confronting these challenges head-on, we're taking a courageous stride toward a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Masturbation triggers a powerful surge of dopamine in your brain, a neurotransmitter that serves as the cornerstone of pleasure and reward in our neural pathways. This chemical cascade is responsible for making us feel profoundly better, enveloping us in a serene calm, providing a fleeting escape from the relentless grip of stress, and granting us that intoxicating sense of reward that can feel almost irresistible. It's this dopamine-fueled euphoria that, while seemingly harmless, can become a perilous trap, ensnaring individuals in a cycle that's difficult to break. For some, the allure of this pleasure becomes overwhelmingly seductive, transforming a natural act into a relentless addiction. What begins as a simple means of relief can spiral into an all-consuming obsession, gripping the mind with an unyielding hold. Although the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, does not formally recognize hypersexuality disorder, the compulsive nature of excessive masturbation shares alarming similarities with behaviors observed in obsessive-compulsive disorders. This relentless pursuit of gratification can evolve into a vice that not only torments the individual psychologically, but also leads to devastating consequences in their personal and familial relationships. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Imagine the emotional turmoil of feeling enslaved by your desires, watching helplessly as your self-control erodes, and your actions begin to inflict pain on those you love. The mental anguish can be overwhelming. Waves of shame, guilt, and isolation can crash over you, leaving you feeling utterly powerless. This isn't merely a personal struggle. It's a silent destructor that sends shockwaves through families, shattering trust and tearing apart the very fabric of connection that holds relationships together. The stakes are incredibly high. The mental destruction wrought by this addiction can manifest as anxiety, depression, and a deep-seated sense of unworthiness. Familial bonds may fray under the strain of secrecy and betrayal, leading to conflicts, estrangement, or even the breakdown of marriages and partnerships. The vice grips not just the mind, but extends its reach into every corner of one's life, casting long shadows over happiness and fulfillment. It's crucial to recognize that this cycle isn't a sign of inherent weakness or moral failure, but a complex interplay of neurological and psychological factors that can overpower even the most resilient individuals. The path to addiction is often paved with the innocent desire for comfort and escape, yet without awareness and intervention, it can lead to profound suffering and irreversible consequences. Understanding the gravity of this issue is the first step toward reclaiming control. By shedding light on the hidden dangers lurking behind the pursuit of pleasure, we empower ourselves to break free from the chains of compulsive behavior. It's a call to action to confront these challenges head-on, to seek support, and to strive for a life where joy and fulfillment are not tainted by the shadows of addiction. In many harrowing cases, you find yourself utterly incapable of exercising control over your impulses, spiraling into a state where you become a prisoner within your mind, a slave to desires that relentlessly consume you. This lack of self-mastery doesn't just erode your willpower, it devours your very sense of self, leaving you feeling powerless and defeated. You become a victim of your unchecked cravings, a marionette dancing to the erratic pulls of compulsive urges that refuse to release their grip. Desperation drives you to seek ever more extreme outlets to satiate this insatiable hunger. You may find yourself entangled in risky relationships with prostitutes, exposing yourself to emotional and physical dangers that you never imagined you'd face. Perhaps you engage in fleeting encounters with multiple partners, chasing a hollow fulfillment that evaporates as quickly as it arrives. As we explored in a previous discussion, you might descend into the abyss of excessive pornography consumption, losing hours, if not days, in a virtual world that offers nothing but ephemeral pleasure and lingering emptiness. These are the treacherous paths a dopamine-saturated brain coerces you to tread in its unending quest to reclaim that initial euphoria. Your mind, overwhelmed by the chemical bombardment, desperately seeks ways to replicate or amplify the fleeting joy it once tasted. Pay close attention to this perilous cycle, for it is a cunning adversary that thrives on your obliviousness. The masturbation addiction isn't merely a matter of weak will or moral failing. It is deeply rooted in the complex chemistry of your brain. Each act releases a surge of neurotransmitters, dopamine being the primary culprit, that floods your neural pathways with pleasure signals. Initially, this feels incredible, a blissful escape from stress and reality. But as your brain adapts to these elevated levels of chemicals, it begins to develop a tolerance. The once satisfying doses no longer suffice. Your brain craves more and more dopamine to achieve even a shadow of the original sensation. This relentless pursuit leads you down a darkening path where you're compelled to seek out new and more intense forms of stimulation. You're constantly on the hunt, searching obsessively for the next opportunity to indulge, trapped in a loop that seems impossible to break. Your days become punctuated by these overpowering urges, each one more demanding than the last. Eventually, this voracious cycle reaches an alarming and exaggerated point. Your brain, in a desperate attempt to protect itself from the overwhelming onslaught of dopamine, begins to shut down or block dopamine receptors. It's a defensive mechanism, akin to closing doors to prevent flooding. But this biological safeguard comes at a steep emotional cost. Despite performing the act that once brought you immense pleasure, you now find yourself feeling nothing at all. The emptiness is profound and jarring. This numbing of pleasure doesn't bring relief. Instead, it amplifies your frustration and despair. You may feel more agitated and restless than ever before, trapped in a body that no longer responds to the very actions you believed you needed. The sense of loss can be devastating, a stark contrast to the satisfaction you once experienced. This can plunge you into deeper cycles of compulsive behavior as you desperately try to reclaim that lost sensation, further entrenching you in addiction. The emotional toll is immense. Feelings of shame, guilt, and self-loathing may wash over you, eroding your self-esteem and clouding your perception of who you are. Relationships may suffer as you withdraw from loved ones, isolating yourself in your struggle. The activities and passions that once brought you joy fade into the background, overshadowed by an all-consuming fixation that offers no real fulfillment. Recognizing this destructive pattern is crucial. Understanding that you're caught in a biochemical trap, not a moral failing, can be the first step toward reclaiming your life. It's a call to awaken your inner strength, seek help if needed, and embark on a journey toward healing and self-mastery. Remember, you're not alone in this struggle, and breaking free is not just possible, it's within your power. Engaging in excessive masturbation to satiate that insatiable hunger for pleasure mirrors the desperate actions of a chain smoker who can't bear to part with their cigarette, someone who consumes chocolate until they are physically ill, or an alcoholic who drowns themselves in liquor to escape an unbearable reality. These behaviors are not merely bad habits. They are compulsive obsessions that grip individuals in a vice-like hold, stripping away their freedom and autonomy. They represent a frantic chase for a fleeting satisfaction that never truly fills the void, leaving behind a trail of emptiness, guilt, and profound despair. At this critical juncture, you might find yourself wondering, what does Stoicism have to do with all of this? The Stoic philosophers, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, towering figures renowned for their extraordinary self-control and profound wisdom, approached the concepts of pleasure and lust from a uniquely insightful perspective. They didn't shy away from confronting the raw and turbulent forces of human passion. Instead, they delved deep into the very core of these emotions, seeking to understand and master them. Their teachings offer a beacon of hope, illuminating a path toward reclaiming control over the tumultuous desires that threaten to overwhelm us. From the enlightening words of Epicurus to the intimate and reflective thoughts of Seneca, these philosophers explored the deepest recesses of human passions, a legacy that continues to captivate and inspire us even today. They understood that unchecked desires could lead to a life of turmoil and inner conflict, and they dedicated themselves to unraveling the complexities of the human psyche. Their explorations were not just philosophical musings, but practical guides to living a life of balance, virtue, and true fulfillment. By examining their wisdom, we open ourselves to transformative insights that can help us navigate our struggles with compulsive behaviors. The Stoics teach us that while we cannot always control external events, we possess the power to govern our responses and choices. They emphasize the cultivation of inner strength, resilience, and the pursuit of wisdom as the highest goods. Their timeless teachings invite us to reflect deeply on our own lives. The Stoics challenge us to rise above the immediate gratification that so often ensnares us. They urge us to develop self-mastery, to harness our willpower, and to align our actions with our deepest values and principles. In doing so, we can break free from the chains of addiction and live a life marked by authentic happiness, inner peace, and profound meaning. So, as we stand at this crossroads, grappling with the powerful currents of desire, let us turn to the wisdom of the Stoics. Their insights offer not just philosophical enlightenment, but practical tools to help us reclaim our lives from the grip of compulsive behaviors. By embracing their teachings, we can embark on a journey towards self-discovery, empowerment, and a renewed sense of purpose, a journey that leads us away from the shadows of addiction and into the radiant light of true freedom. To the Stoic philosophers, masturbation was not an avenue for indulging in fleeting carnal satisfaction, but rather a critical test of one's ability to exercise self-control and mastery over desires. They perceive the urges of the flesh not as opportunities to explore personal limits, but as challenges to overcome in the pursuit of inner peace and true freedom. In their profound philosophy, the conquest of worldly passions and sensual pleasures was a monumental achievement that elevated the human spirit. allowing individuals to live in harmony with reason and virtue. If you're still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment too below to let me know that you are still here with me. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoics, passionately argued that succumbing to base desires weakens the mind and chains the soul. He believed that true strength lies in the ability to resist temptation and maintain control over one's impulses. By doing so, a person could attain a state of tranquility and wisdom that is unshakable by external circumstances. Similarly, Marcus Aurelius, in his introspective meditations, reflected deeply on the transient nature of physical pleasures. He urged himself and others to look beyond immediate gratification and focus on the cultivation of character, virtue, and the fulfillment of one's duties. To him, indulging in excessive desires was a distraction from the higher purpose of life. Although not a Stoic but an Epicurean philosopher, Epicurus asserted with profound wisdom that it is not nights filled with indulgent pleasure, but the steadfast practice of self-control that distinguishes a good and honorable person. He taught that the greatest form of pleasure comes from the absence of pain and the presence of a peaceful mind. In his view, the relentless pursuit of sensual gratification leads not to happiness, but to turmoil and dissatisfaction. In this illuminating context, the ability to experience pleasure while fully understanding and restraining it is the hallmark of someone who has ascended to a higher plane of self-awareness and enlightenment. Rather than being enslaved by our insatiable desires, we must become their unyielding masters, guiding them with wisdom and rational judgment. Seneca reminds us through his timeless philosophical insights that self-mastery is not about denying our human nature, but about harnessing our inner strength to live a life of purpose and integrity. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes from within, from the disciplined mind that can navigate the tumultuous seas of emotion without being overwhelmed by the waves of temptation. By embracing self-control, we reclaim our power, breaking the chains that bind us to compulsive behaviors. This profound wisdom encourages us to look beyond the seductive allure of instant pleasure and strive for a life enriched by meaning, virtue, and lasting fulfillment. They invite us to reflect deeply on our own lives. By internalizing these powerful teachings, we equip ourselves with the tools to overcome the compulsions that threaten to derail our lives. We learn that it's not about denying ourselves joy, but about cultivating a deeper, more sustainable happiness that arises from living in harmony with our true nature and core values. The Stoics encourage us to become the architects of our destiny, experiencing the profound liberation that comes from being the masters of our desires. Embracing this philosophy is a transformative journey, a courageous step towards reclaiming our lives from the grip of compulsive behaviors. It's an invitation to awaken our inner strength, to live authentically, and to pursue a path that leads to genuine fulfillment and enduring peace. Plunging into the profound depths of Stoic philosophy, reflection on the act of masturbation transcends mere notions of repression and ascetic denial. It blossoms into a fervent pursuit of deep understanding and unparalleled self-mastery. It is a passionate call to rise above the ephemeral allure of immediate gratification, urging us to harness and direct the tumultuous currents of our emotions toward an enlightening odyssey of conscious self-exploration. This transformative journey beckons us not to shun our natural desires, but to delve fearlessly into them, understanding, accepting, and wholeheartedly embracing our most intimate inclinations with wisdom and grace. From the Stoic perspective, every action we undertake is not an isolated event, but a resonant note in the grand symphony of the universe. Each choice sends ripples through the delicate fabric of the cosmos, influencing not only our destiny, but also the harmonious balance of the natural order. When we succumb to our most intense and unbridled desires, such as in the case of uncontrolled masturbation, we risk severing the sacred connection with nature that the Stoics hold in the highest esteem. In yielding to these overpowering urges, we become ensnared in the suffocating chains of our passions, transforming from sovereign beings into prisoners shackled by desire. We drift aimlessly away from the serene shores of true inner tranquility, lost in the turbulent seas of insatiable craving. This surrender not only fractures our inner peace, but also disrupts the universal harmony that the Stoics so ardently strive to preserve. We forsake the noble ideals of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the cornerstones of Stoic virtue, and allow the chaotic tempest of unchecked impulses to steer us away from the enlightened path. The once clear vision of living by nature's rational and balanced cadence becomes obscured, overshadowed by the shadowy veil of relentless longing. Yet, the Stoic call is not one of bleak renunciation, but of empowering transformation. It is an impassioned exhortation to reclaim our innate power, to stand valiantly at the helm of our souls, and to navigate the intricate labyrinth of our desires with mindful deliberation. By cultivating unwavering self-discipline and a profound awareness of our deepest inclinations, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideals and restore the harmonious connection with the cosmos. We emerge not as suppressors of desire, but as enlightened beings who have transmuted raw impulses into a force for personal growth and universal harmony. In embracing this path, we transcend the role of passive participants in our own lives and become the conscious architects of our destiny. We transform fleeting moments of physical satisfaction into lasting pillars of inner strength and serenity. The journey is arduous and demands relentless honesty and courage, but it rewards us with the priceless gift of true self-sovereignty. We rediscover the tranquil core of our being and stand in harmonious unity with the natural order, embodying the Stoic vision of a life lived with profound purpose and unshakable peace. Compulsive masturbation can unleash a devastating emotional maelstrom within the very core of our being, a relentless storm where suffocating guilt, corrosive shame, and gnawing dissatisfaction become our constant shadows. These oppressive emotions cling to us like chains, haunting every quiet moment and eroding our sense of self-worth. We find ourselves trapped in a vicious cycle, where fleeting physical relief is quickly overshadowed by a deeper, more profound inner turmoil. It's as if we're adrift in a turbulent sea of our own making, desperately seeking solace, yet only sinking further into despair. Amid this inner chaos, the timeless wisdom of the Stoics shines like a beacon of hope, guiding us toward the tranquil shores of self-mastery and inner peace. They teach us that the path to true liberation lies not in the suppression of our emotions, but in their conscious acknowledgement and regulation. Through profound introspection and unwavering self-discipline, we are urged to confront the tumultuous tides within us. The Stoics implore us to gaze unflinchingly into the mirror of our souls, to understand the roots of our desires and the hold they have over us. By courageously facing our deepest emotions, we begin to untangle the complex web of our inner struggles. We learn to transform the raw, overwhelming energy of our impulses into constructive forces that enrich rather than deplete us. The Stoics encourage us to seek not the hollow comfort of external gratifications, but the enduring serenity that comes from aligning with our true selves. They remind us that genuine satisfaction is not found in the relentless pursuit of pleasure, but in the noble endeavor of cultivating virtue and simplicity in our lives. Embracing the Stoic path is a transformative journey, a profound shift from being prisoners of our passions to becoming the architects of our destiny. We shed the heavy burdens of guilt and shame, stepping into the liberating light of self-awareness and acceptance. We come to understand that our worth is not diminished by our struggles, but is elevated by our resilience and our commitment to growth. Through the steadfast practice of self-regulation and mindful living, we reclaim the sovereignty of our minds and hearts. The Stoics teach us that true fulfillment arises from within, from the quiet confidence of self-mastery and the joy found in what is simple and virtuous. They guide us to appreciate the profound beauty in everyday moments, to find contentment in the present, and to live in harmony with the natural world. By aligning our actions with our highest values, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we cultivate an inner peace that external circumstances cannot shake. In this journey towards self-mastery, we transform fleeting moments of physical satisfaction into lasting pillars of inner strength and serenity. We no longer seek escape from compulsions, but find empowerment in conscious choice. The emotional whirlwind that once consumed us becomes a gentle breeze, a testament to the storms we've navigated and the calm we've achieved. Through the Stoic lens, we discover that the true essence of happiness is not in the chains of unchecked desires, but in the freedom of a disciplined, virtuous life. A life where we are fully present, deeply connected, and profoundly at peace with ourselves. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Allow me to share a deeply moving and personal inspirational story that illuminates the transformative power of Stoic philosophy. I once knew someone, a soul tormented by the relentless grip of compulsive masturbation. Each act was a desperate grasp for momentary refuge and fleeting pleasure, a brief escape from the overwhelming pressures of life. Yet, in the quiet aftermath of each indulgence, they faced an unforgiving emotional storm. Waves of crippling guilt washed over them. Shadows of suffocating shame loomed large, and a profound sense of dissatisfaction settled in their heart like a heavy fog. It was as if they were caught in an unending cycle of self-inflicted suffering, yearning for liberation yet unknowingly tightening their chains. In the depths of this inner turmoil, a glimmer of hope appeared, a chance encounter with the timeless wisdom of Stoic teachings. Drawn by an inexplicable pull toward this ancient philosophy, they began to immerse themselves in its profound depths. The Stoics spoke of self-control, of the boundless strength found in self-regulation, and of the serene peace that blossoms from aligning one's life with virtuous principles. These teachings resonated deeply within them, stirring something long dormant, a fierce desire to reclaim their life from the clutches of unbridled desire. Embracing the Stoic path was not a simple or easy journey. It demanded unwavering honesty, relentless introspection, and a courageous willingness to confront the raw essence of their desires and emotions. They began to peel back the layers of their compulsions, seeking to understand the roots of their urges rather than merely suppressing them. Each moment of temptation became an opportunity for conscious choice, a chance to exercise the power of their will over the fleeting whims of the flesh. Through disciplined practice, they cultivated a profound sense of self-awareness. Meditation and reflection became daily rituals, grounding them in the present moment and connecting them to a deeper sense of purpose. They learned to channel the intense energy that once drove their compulsions into pursuits that nourished their soul: art, music, writing, and meaningful connections with others. The act that once symbolized their captivity transformed into a reminder of their capacity for change. As time passed, a remarkable transformation unfolded. They no longer sought solace in momentary pleasures, but found true joy in the mastery of themselves. The chains of guilt and shame that once bound them fell away, replaced by a radiant sense of inner peace and authenticity. They stood taller, breathed deeper, and embraced life with a newfound vigor and clarity. Free from the slavery of momentary desires, they became a living testament to the profound impact of embracing one's deepest principles and values. Their story is a powerful reminder that true satisfaction emerges not from surrendering to fleeting desires, but from steadfastly living by what we hold most dear. When we yield to the ephemeral allure of immediate gratification, we lose sight of the enduring values that give our lives meaning and direction. Compulsive behaviors, like unchecked masturbation, can distance us from our noblest purposes, steering us away from the true happiness that is found in virtue and inner peace. The Stoics teach us that happiness is not a product of external circumstances, but a state cultivated within. It is born from the harmony of our actions with our highest ideals, from wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By aligning ourselves with these virtues, we anchor our lives in something far more substantial than the shifting sands of desire. We become resilient in the face of life's storms, finding stability and contentment that external pleasures cannot provide. This journey toward self-mastery is both challenging and profoundly rewarding. It requires us to face ourselves with honesty, to acknowledge our weaknesses without judgment, and to commit to continual growth. Yet, in embracing this path, we unlock the boundless potential that lies within each of us. we discover that we are not helpless victims of our desires, but powerful agents capable of shaping our destiny. The story of my acquaintance is not just a singular tale of personal triumph, but a universal message of hope. It speaks to the struggles that many silently endure and offers a beacon of light for those seeking a way out of their cycles of compulsion. It reminds us that no matter how deep our struggles run, there is always a path toward healing and wholeness. In the end, true fulfillment comes from living authentically, from aligning our lives with our deepest principles and values. It is found in the quiet confidence of self-control, the profound peace of inner harmony, and the enduring joy of a life well lived. By turning inward and embracing the wisdom of philosophies like Stoicism, we can transcend the confines of our immediate desires and step into the expansive freedom of a virtuous and purposeful existence. May this story inspire you to reflect on your journey, seek the wisdom within, and embrace the path that leads to true and lasting happiness. By embracing the transformative practices of meditation and mindfulness, we open the gateway to a profound mental serenity, a sacred space where the temptations that once held sway over us lose their formidable grip. In this sanctuary of the mind, we cultivate the clarity and inner strength needed to resist the alluring whispers of compulsion. These practices are not mere tools, but lifelines that anchor us firmly in the present moment, allowing us to face our deepest emotions with courage and grace. The relentless cycle of compulsion becomes a towering obstacle to our mental tranquility, dragging us into a quagmire of regrets and steering us away from the harmonious peace found in self-control and moderation. It's as if we are caught in a riptide, pulled further from the serene shores of our true selves, unable to reach the calm waters where our spirit can rest and rejuvenate. My dear friend, I implore you to pause and reflect deeply on the path you are currently treading. What are you truly doing with this precious gift of life? Do you believe that sitting alone at home, engrossed in those fleeting images on a screen, and seeking momentary pleasure with your own hands will forge you into a confident and successful individual? Can you sincerely say that expending your valuable time and energy on these hollow activities will attract the meaningful connections you desire? Will it draw women to you? Or if you are a woman, will it draw men to you? The stark reality is that it cannot and will not. These transient distractions may offer a brief escape, but they ultimately leave you feeling emptier, further eroding your self-esteem and distancing you from the authentic relationships and accomplishments you yearn for. Every moment spent in these pursuits is a moment diverted from your journey toward growth, fulfillment, and genuine happiness. It's like pouring water into a sieve. No matter how much you invest, nothing substantial remains. Instead of building the foundations of confidence and success, you're constructing walls that isolate you, breeding feelings of loneliness and dissatisfaction. The time and energy you possess are finite and invaluable. They are the currency with which you build the life you envision. Squandering them on activities that offer no lasting value is akin to watching your dreams slip through your fingers like grains of sand. Imagine the profound transformation that awaits when you choose to redirect your focus. Envision yourself stepping away from the shadows of solitary indulgence and into the vibrant light of purposeful living. Confidence is not born from hidden corners, but cultivated through facing challenges, embracing personal growth, and engaging earnestly with the world around you. Success blossoms when you invest in yourself, nurturing your talents, pursuing your passions, and forging connections that uplift and inspire. Consider the rich tapestry of experiences that life offers beyond the confines of those screens. There is a world brimming with opportunities to learn, to grow, and to connect on a deeply human level. By breaking free from the cycle of compulsion, you open the door to authentic interactions, to relationships built on mutual respect and shared interests. You allow yourself the chance to be seen and appreciated for who you truly are, not hidden behind a facade of temporary pleasures. So, I ask you with the utmost sincerity and compassion, is this the path that leads you to the life you desire? Or is it time to reclaim your power, to harness your time and energy toward pursuits that align with your highest aspirations? The journey toward confidence, success, and meaningful relationships begins with a single, courageous step away from what holds you back. Embrace the practices that promote mental serenity and self-awareness. Dive into the depths of your being with meditation and mindfulness, confronting and understanding your emotions rather than escaping from them. In doing so, you will cultivate a resilience and inner peace that not only helps you resist temptations, but also empowers you to navigate life's challenges with grace and strength. Remember, true attraction, be it of success, confidence, or meaningful relationships, emanates from within. It's a reflection of the authenticity, passion, and positivity that you cultivate in your own life. By choosing self-control and moderation over fleeting indulgence, you align yourself with a path that leads to lasting fulfillment and joy. Seize this moment to make a profound change. Redirect your focus, invest in your growth, and step boldly into the life you are meant to live. The power to transform your reality lies within you. Unlock it, and watch as the world around you transforms in response. As we reach the end of this profound exploration into the Stoic journey of self-mastery and inner peace, take a moment to reflect on the insights we've shared today. What resonated most with you? How has this discussion on overcoming compulsive behaviors, embracing mindfulness, and living in alignment with your deepest values impacted your perspective? We invite you to share in the comments below one key lesson you've learned from this video and how you plan to incorporate it into your daily life. Your experiences and commitments not only inspire others, but also reinforce your path toward lasting fulfillment and serenity. If you found value in this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. By doing so, you support our mission to spread wisdom and empower individuals on their journey to a virtuous and peaceful life. Thank you for being a part of our community. And remember, true happiness lies within your grasp, waiting to be embraced through conscious choice and unwavering self-discipline. Stay strong, stay mindful, and continue striving toward the harmonious life you deserve.